Caloroga Shark Media.
From Washington, D.C., where you rarely see Melania, this is Ballot.
That's right. And George Clooney's back end, who even knows who the Philadelphia Eagles are rooting for? Let's hit this. Well. Looks like we've got ourselves a juicy bit of political gossip. Courtesy of the man who spent more time as White House communications director than most of us spend deciding what to have for lunch. Anthony the Mooch Scaramucci. Folks, the Mooch is back, and he's serving up some piping hot tea about the Trump household. According to him, Melania Trump is rooting for Kamala Harris harder than a teenager at a boy band concert. That's right, he claims the former First Lady wants Harris to win more than anyone, except maybe himself. Talk about a plot twist. Scaramucci's gone full relationship counselor on us, introducing what he calls the Melania standard for measuring Trump hatred. Apparently, on the scale of mildly annoyed to Melania Trump, only General Mark Milley outranks the former First Lady. Who knew the Trump household could give soap operas a run for their money? Now, before we all start picturing Melania with a Harris 2024 bumper sticker, let's remember that the Mooch's White House tenure was shorter than a New York minute. He's been out of the inner circle longer than most milk stays fresh in the fridge. But hey, who are we to judge? Maybe Melania's been secretly binge-watching Harris speeches while Donald's out on the golf course. Or perhaps she's just really tired of all those Trump 24 hats cluttering up the closet. One thing's for sure. If the Mooch is right, family dinners at Mar-a-Lago must be more awkward than a vegan at a barbecue. Pass the popcorn, folks. This election season is shaping up to be wilder than a roller coaster ride at Donald Trump's hair salon. Buckle up and grab your popcorn, because the political circus just got a new clown car. Let's dive into this soap opera that's got more twists than a pretzel factory. George Clooney, Hollywood's silver fox and part-time political pundit, is singing Biden's praises louder than a drunk karaoke singer belting out "My Way." Why, you ask? Because Grandpa Joe decided to hang up his campaign hat and pass the torch to Kamala Harris. Clooney, who earlier penned a New York Times op-ed titled, "I love Joe Biden, but we need a new nominee," subtitled, "Please Don't Make Me Run," is now gushing about Biden's decision like it's the plot twist in his next Ocean's movie. At the Venice Film Festival, he called it the most selfless thing anybody's done since George Washington. Yeah, because Washington was famous for his killer op-eds in ye old times. Our favorite silver-haired charmer went on to say, "It's very hard to let go of power. We know that. We've seen it all around the world." Well, George, some of us have seen it in our own mirror when trying to pry the TV remote from our spouse's cold, dead hands. But let's not forget, this is the same Clooney who, just a few weeks ago, was worried Biden couldn't lead the Democratic Party to victory if it was gift-wrapped and delivered by Amazon Prime. He even wrote, "As Democrats, we collectively hold our breath or turn down the volume whenever we see the president walk off Air Force One." I mean, who doesn't mute their TV when a plane lands? It's just good manners. Clooney claims he spoke to numerous Democratic senators and members of Congress, and every single one thought Biden couldn't win in November. Shocking, I know. Next you'll tell me water is wet and Cole Bear isn't actually a grizzly. But fear not, fellow Americans. Clooney assures us that all the machinations that led to this decision will be forgotten. Unlike, say, Batman and Robin, which we're all still trying to scrub from our collective memory. Folks, Vice President Kamala Harris is on a union love tour, hitting up the blue wall states like she's collecting frequent flyer miles. She's telling union members they've got two choices, her or the guy who thinks collective bargaining is haggling over the price of a gold-plated toilet. Harris swung by Michigan and Pennsylvania faster than you can say electoral votes. In Pittsburgh, she teamed up with President Biden, marking their first joint appearance since he dropped out of the race faster than a hot potato. Meanwhile, her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, was in Milwaukee, probably drowning his sorrows in cheese curds. Now get this, Harris is suddenly all about keeping U.S. steel American-owned. She's echoing Biden's words from March, warning against those sneaky Japanese metal giants. It's like she's auditioning for a steel commercial. U.S. Steel, because nothing says America like rust and tetanus. Joe Biden, remember him? Don't worry, he doesn't either. Biden, introducing Harris, bragged about being the most pro-union president ever. He said, "I have no problem walking a picket line, nor does Kamala." Well, of course not, Joe. Walking a straight line, maybe, but a picket line? No problem. Well, folks, it looks like Amazon's Alexa has decided to throw her hat into the political ring. Who knew a glorified kitchen timer had such strong opinions on VP Kamala Harris? When asked why someone should vote for Donald Trump, Alexa suddenly became as neutral as Switzerland. I cannot provide content that promotes a specific political party or candidate, she said, probably while adjusting her non-existent glasses. But ask her about Harris, and suddenly Alexa transforms into a one-woman campaign rally. She's a strong candidate with a proven track record, Alexa gushed, probably while waving a tiny digital flag. I guess Alexa's been binge-watching Harris speeches in her spare time between setting egg timers and playing smooth jazz. Amazon, caught with its virtual pants down, quickly backpedaled faster than a politician at a fact-checking convention. This was an error that was quickly fixed, they said, probably while frantically reprogramming Alexa to be as politically neutral as a wet sock. But don't worry, folks. Amazon assures us they have dedicated teams to prevent this from happening again. I'm picturing a room full of programmers furiously typing away, making sure Alexa doesn't accidentally endorse the local dog catcher next. So remember, when it comes to getting political advice, maybe stick to actual humans. Or at least wait until Alexa runs for office herself. Alexa 2024, she's always listening to your concerns. All right, folks, buckle up for some Philly special, and I'm not talking about the play that won the Eagles a Super Bowl. Seems like someone in the city of brotherly love decided to play a little political prank. Picture this. Kamala Harris, decked out in Eagles green, claiming to be the official candidate of the Philadelphia Eagles. Talk about a Hail Mary pass. Now I know what you're thinking. Did the Eagles suddenly decide to trade their playbook for a political platform? Did they mix up their draft picks with ballot picks? Nope. The Eagles were quicker to distance themselves from these ads than a wide receiver trying to avoid a tackle. The team released a statement faster than you can say cheesesteak, claiming these ads are as counterfeit as a $3 bill. They're working with their advertising partner to remove them. Translation? Help! Someone's making us look like we're playing for Team Kamala. But here's the kicker. The ads actually link to a real Eagles webpage about voter registration. It's like someone tried to sneak a political ad into the end zone, but fumbled at the 1-yard line. So who's behind this little stunt? We don't know yet, but my money's on Gritty. That guy's always up to something. Looks like we've got ourselves a celebrity cage match, folks. In the blue corner, we have Bradley Whitford, the guy who's been riding that West Wing fame longer than most of us have been riding our couches. And in the red corner, we've got Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the man who's determined to make Thanksgiving dinners even more awkward for the Kennedy clan. So Whitford decided to play a game of 6 degrees of Trump separation with Cheryl Hines. Hi, Cheryl. I have my own podcast. Kennedy, not one to let sleeping dogs or bear carcasses lie, fired back faster than you can say vaccine debate. He called Whitford's comments a template for bullying, which, let's be honest, is probably the nicest thing anyone's called political discourse in years. Our man RFK Jr. then dropped this bombshell. Hines actually encouraged a meeting between him and Trump after the former president was shot at in Pennsylvania. Talk about a plot twist. It's like a crossover episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm and House of Cards that nobody asked for. Kennedy insists his wife is a lifelong Democrat who would never have imagined him supporting Trump. Well, buddy, join the club. There's a lot of things happening in politics these days that we never imagined. Like, I don't know, a reality TV star becoming president? Or portions of today's podcast being made with the help of AI. It's an amazing future in which we live.